Did you know that the way you walk can lead to head forward posture, mid back pain, low back pain, hip and knee pain, all from just the way you walk? Today, we're going to explore the importance of walking correctly and how it can positively impact our health and well-being. So let's get started. The last time somebody taught you to walk, you were probably 2, maybe 3 years old. And mom and dad were just happy you didn't fall down and hit your nose on the floor, and the fact that you could walk upright was an exciting moment for them. But did you know that there is a right way and a wrong way to walk? And the majority of people that I watch walk wrong all the time. And this can affect their posture, it can affect their health in many ways, including cardiovascular, blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and joint pain as well. It's about maintaining that proper posture and engaging the right muscles and moving with intention. So let's get started step by step to really talk about each of these things. Maintaining good posture. You ever seen somebody walk and they walk like they're walking into a headwind? Their head is out in front of their chest. They're walking really fast. It's almost like they're falling into their next step. Or you may have seen the person that seems to be kind of laying back a little bit on their heels, and their feet step out in front of them as their head is kind of back behind them. And in all those cases, you'll listen to them talk and they'll talk about having low back pain, neck and shoulder pain, or a bad posture. But when you learn how to walk correctly, what happens then is that you actually start to maintain a great posture, which takes the pressure off the spine itself. The pressure on the spine is actually created by the placement of the pelvis and the placement of the head. If you're walking like you're walking into a headwind where you're leaning forward, your head is out in front of your chest, that's not a good thing. And if you're walking like you're walking back on your heels and your body's kind of reared back, you're putting a lot of pressure on the lower part of the back as well, which again is not a good thing. What you want to do when you're walking is you're going to take that first step. Now, most people, when they take a step out, they reach out with the front leg and then pull their body weight towards them. What we want to do is push from, let's say, the right leg, push out and then catch yourself with your left foot. And when you step down on that left foot, you should really be landing on the whole foot. Think of an ice skater. An ice skater scoots off to the right but lands over here, and then scoots off over here and lands over here. But when we're walking, it should be the same thing. We push off and land, push off and land. And when you do that, what happens is that now the foot on the back leg is really propelling you forward. Think of it in these terms. You're pushing a heavy cart. Is it easier to push that cart, or would it be better off to turn around and pull that cart up a hill? So those are the things that you want to think about. Pay attention to that foot placement. Now, most of us have been told our entire lives that a heel to toe foot placement is the best way to walk. The reality is that you take out the roll of the arch of the foot. So when you step down, the arch of the foot is literally supposed to flatten out to absorb the impact, and your toes are supposed to spread. If you hit a heel, then roll through your foot and then hit your toes, what happens there is that you don't get a chance to use the arch muscle itself to absorb that impact. So you want to be able to not reach out so far where you're hitting with your heel, but reach out and place the whole foot onto the floor. Your arm swings, swinging your arms back and forth. When the left leg goes out, typically the right arm goes back, and the reason for that is strictly for balance. And so you want to walk with your arms coming back and forth. If you're walking where your arms are just straight down by your side and they're not swinging at all, you have a good chance of losing your balance. Another thing about with the arms, if you're walking and your palms are facing behind you, chances are the muscles on the outside of the chest are tight, and you probably have head forward posture with that. So keep an eye on that. I've got some other videos that will talk about how to open up the outside chest. And then lastly, don't forget about breathing. You want to be able to breathe normally. In other words, if you're walking at a good pace, you could have a conversation with somebody, but it might get a little difficult over time. If you can easily talk to somebody for hours at a time walking, your pace is probably too slow to be able to do that. Walking correctly can significantly improve things like your cardiovascular health. It can lower cholesterol levels. It can lower your blood pressure. Because that exercise and walk, you're actually engaging the muscles of the heart, and building the stamina in your body to be able to walk those distances. And the thing is that when you're walking, if you walk a mile and you're tired at the end of that mile, then that's your limit for today. Understand your limits with that. Don't try to go out the first day and walk 5 miles. But when you can walk comfortably that mile, move it up to 1.5 miles or maybe even 2 miles at that point and engage and move from there. And as you continue to keep building, what will happen is that you'll start to improve your heart, you'll start to reduce your cholesterol, start to reduce your blood pressure. And as you get to a point like you get 2, 3, 4 miles out and you don't really want to walk any further, pick up the pace a little bit. So there's 2 different things there. You've got the distance for stamina, and then you got how fast do you walk for stamina. You can do both of those things and improve your walking. Walking also is great benefit for managing and for losing weight. So when I lost 100 pounds, I was walking several miles a day to make that happen. And so the walking then can increase your metabolism. It can allow you to actually promote fat loss. And again, that's going to be accompanied by a good, healthy diet that's going to be probably more plant-based than starches. And so what you want is to continue that walking program on a daily basis. And if you do that for 30, 45 minutes a day, you'll be amazed at the benefits health-wise and weight-wise as well. When you're walking, set goals. Set goals that, in other words, if you can only do 1 mile the first day, your goal is to get to mile 2. And then you get to mile 2, the goal becomes mile 3. If you get to mile 3 and you go, I don't really want to walk any further than that. Now, if I can do the 3-mile walk, let's say in 20, 25, 30 minutes, can I do the 3-mile walk in 15 to 20 minutes? And so you pick up the pace a little bit and set goals that are achievable. If you're 70 years old, you're not going to have the stamina that you had at 20 or 25 when you start off. Doesn't mean you can't increase that stamina to get close to those levels, but that's not where you're going to start. So be realistic about the goals that you're setting with that. What shoes to wear? I always get this question about what's the best shoe to wear. Now, we've all been told we need shoes with thick, comfortable soles, with arch supports and heel supports, and it's just not true. I mean, I work on people every day who have foot issues, knee issues, and you'll have things like plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, pain underneath their kneecap, and so forth. 90% of that's coming from the shoes that they wear. So like I was talking about into the step-by-step thing that we do, is that you want to make sure that you have a shoe that can literally bend in the middle. And the reason that's important is that number one, the ankle can bend beyond 90 degrees so that you can push off with your foot. If the ankle can't bend beyond 90 degrees, now what you're doing is propelling yourself with the front of your thighs and you're going to develop low back pain. Secondly, you want a shoe with a wide toe box on it. A narrow pointed shoe is going to bunch the toes together and will not allow the foot to spread for better balance and to be able to grip the road or the ground that you're walking on. The arch supports, you don't want a shoe with an arch support. Now I'm saying this, once your feet have been massaged and stretched and the calves have been stretched the right way. I've got several videos on plantar fasciitis, how the best foot massage out there. Go back and look at those first, start there first. Don't go cold turkey. I did that and trust me, it took me about 2 or 3 weeks to get my muscles acclimated. You can do it, but I wouldn't suggest doing it. But what I'm saying is once your feet are soft, the way I talk about it in the best foot massage, and your calves are loose, like I talk about in the plantar fasciitis massage, now you want a shoe that really doesn't have support in it all with a thinner sole. And then what that does is that allows you to grip the ground, build your balance, build the muscles in your feet so that when you're walking, you don't have to have that fear of falling when you do that. So, and I also have a video on the shoes in general, what makes a good shoe versus one not a good shoe for walking. So check those videos out. You can see them down below, and I'll put some links into the description as well. Lastly, when you're walking, understand that when you walk correctly, it's pretty powerful. I mean, the way you can improve your health, the way you can improve your posture, and it's amazing. I teach people every day in their 70s and even their 80s how to walk better and how it changes for them. I mean, they're able to walk much further. They're able to walk without having foot pain and knee pain and so forth. And over my 20 years of studying this, what I have learned is that the shoe itself is an important piece of this whole walking thing. And when I see people wearing really thick sole shoes with built-up supports, and some of them have orthotics or whatever, it's not surprising to me that majority of them have things like plantar fasciitis, or they have balance issues because the shoe has caused the muscle in the foot to actually atrophy. We don't want to do that. So what I want you to do is I'm going to put the links to those 3 videos about the shoes, about massaging your feet, and also about stretching your calves. And be sure you lace up your shoes, straighten out your posture, and take the first step towards walking correctly. Again, see ya. I hope you enjoyed this last video. Be sure to click on the video here to my left and enjoy.